I would like to read for you a passage from one of my favorite authors, the Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran. It is from one of his books called The Madman, in a section called The Astronomer. In the shadow of the temple, my friend and I saw a blind man sitting alone. And my friend said, "Behold the wisest man of our land." Then I left my friend and approached the blind man and greeted him, and we conversed. After a while I said, "Forgive my question, but since when hast thou been blind?" "From my birth," he answered. Said I, "And what path of wisdom followest thou?" Said he, "I am an astronomer." Then he placed his hand upon his breast, saying, "I watch all these suns and moons and stars." Perhaps it seems strange to us that a man blind from birth could become an astronomer and watch all the suns and moons and stars right inside of him. Someone who could not see anything was able to see wonders that most of us are unable to see. But there are brilliant suns and moons and stars shining in our own breast right now. But because we are not blind, because we have so many distractions outside of us, we do not see them. We do not bother to notice them. How correct was the ancient Greek philosopher Sophocles when he said, "Every person can see things that are far off, but is blind to what is near." Is it any wonder that we cannot see the stars inside of us? We can't even see the stars above us anymore. We have lost our appreciation of the dark. We have lost our sense of wonder in the face of the magnificent night sky. We have allowed our vision of the stars to be blocked by all the false, meaningless, artificial lights around us, to the point where the only stars the children of our modern cities have ever seen are the stars beneath their feet on the sidewalks of Hollywood Boulevard. There is actually an organization found in 1988 called the International Dark Sky Association. This is the only non-profit organization in the world fighting to preserve the night. They say in their statement, "Once a source of wonder and one half of the entire planet's natural environment, the star-filled nights of just a few years ago are vanishing in a yellow haze. Human-produced light pollution not only mars our view of the stars, poor lighting threatens astronomy, disrupts ecosystems, affects human circadian rhythms, and wastes energy to the tune of $2.2 billion per year in the U.S. alone." What a pity that we can no longer enjoy the beautiful star-filled night skies of our youth. Let's take a moment now and become blind. Let us re-enter the darkness we knew in the womb. Let us become blind to what is distracting us, that we may finally see what is right inside of us. Close your eyes now to the artificial lights around you. The more you become accustomed to the outer darkness, the more you will be conscious of those brilliant lights within you. Let that darkness bathe you. Don't be afraid of it. For that outer darkness will soon be consumed by much more powerful inner lights. What lights do you see now inside of you? Perhaps you see first the light from that brilliant but waning moon called memory. It enlightens us, teaches us, and can at times bring us great joy. Do you see it? Bask in that comforting light. Can you perceive the bright star within you known as hope? That one is there to pierce the deepest darkness of our life, if only we would let it, if only we would notice it. Or perhaps the first ray of light you encounter from within is from the star of self-confidence, that light which reveals to us corners of strength and courage we never knew we had in us. So many stars are right inside us, waiting to be seen, that they may dispel the terrors of the darkness in which we think we are living. There's the star of understanding, the star of inner peace, the star of joy, the star of dreaming, the star of wisdom. There is a moon of self-knowledge and humility, a moon of connectedness, a full moon of compassion. And all of these wonderful moons reflect and lead us to the greatest sun of all, the magnificent sun of love, radiating within us from our birth, giving light and warmth and life to our every enlightened act and thought. All this light, manifested in so many suns and moons and stars shining right inside of us, all this tremendous light we call God. Every one of us is blind from birth, and all of us must recapture that gift of blindness in order to see once again the magnificent divine life, divine light within us. Now let us open our eyes once again, but let's not lose sight of that inner light which we have encountered, rediscovered in our darkness. Now turn to those around you, and you will see them now in a different light from before. You will now see them with eyes accustomed to the light of God. And you will notice, perhaps for the first time since blind childhood, that divine light in all the people around you as well. People become blind to one another, blind to the needs and the hurts and the cares of each other, simply because they have stopped seeing the light within themselves. If we do not see the stars inside our own heart, how can we ever hope truly to see the person next to us? In the wonderful story of today, a man born blind encounters the Christ. Let us not forget that that life-changing encounter began not in his sight, but in his blindness. Embrace our blindness that we may see the light inside. Embrace that light that we may see each other. Embrace each other, that standing together we may be embraced by God.